I do want to talk to you a little bit about today's game in football, and of course, your fantastic career in terms of a two-time Super Bowl champion. We'll get to that, but we were just talking about men's health. Austin's in his early 30s. He's an MMA fighter, former Jags player. He's in fantastic health, 6'6", 245. I mean, he'd come off the edge and go after guys like you back in the playing days, Otis. Meanwhile, me, I'm just want to hang around the athletes and 43 years old. So we got to think about these things in our health, and obviously that's top of mind for you and this event coming up tomorrow with Man Up 2020.
Yes, it is, and I just want to get the message out there to men. For one thing, don't be afraid to go talk to your doctor. I think that's one of the biggest issues or myths that we have, is that we don't like to go to the doctors. Women are known to do it, but men seem to have a problem with that. I guess it's that manhood that we possess, that we don't want to show sign of weakness, and to us going to the doctor sign of weakness. And that's why I partnered up with Nova Nordis to help bring the message out to men and those who are diabetics, that you can have a good life, you can go see your doctor, and you can keep living. And those are the things that we need to remember and take, that
Ottis Anderson.
Have a good life. Yep.
Ottis Anderson with us here on Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. Can you tell us a little bit more diabetes and how you've dealt with it when you learned you had it? Did you know it could be a risk factor in terms of your family? How have you dealt with it in your life?
Well, I dealt with it by going to the doctor. I dealt with it by learning information for Nova Nordis. As long as you do that, take knowledge, run with it, because knowledge is power. And just research. I heard about it when I was growing up. It was called sugar in the neighborhood that I grew up in. Never diabetes. But as I got older and learned the terminology, then I learned about it. But prior to that, it was called sugar, and some people got it, some people didn't. But when you did have it, that means you had to stay away from sweets and things like that. So that's how I went along in my neighborhood.
Yeah, I remember hearing it growing up as well. My grandmother had diabetes, and just recently I was just talking to someone close to us, and they just learned that they had diabetes. So certainly something you have to pay attention to. Is there a buzzword or factoid that people should be aware of if they're listening to say, hey, you might want to get this checked out. You might have diabetes, or you might have to get something under control. Is there something that should catch our listeners' attention?
And not just one, but it's a lot more than that. If you're having weak vision, if you're having ashy skin, if you notice those kind of things happening to you, then chances are you might want to visit a doctor. If you find yourself, tired a lot, because you don't have to be overweight to have diabetes, and that's one of the misnomers that's out there. People that are small, skinny, whatever, can have diabetes. Sometimes it's genetics. So what you have to do is, if you find yourself at about 45 years old or more, starting to notice something about your eyesight, and you had pretty good vision for a long time, you start noticing that your skin is a lot more ashy than normal when you apply lotion and stuff like that. You still seem like you're still ashy. And then, as I said, by weak vision, tingling, those are just little things. But my advice is just find out about it. Just read about it. Go to Nova Nordis and .com and look at it, and just find information about it. And that's the best thing I could tell anybody. Just if you think you have some of those symptoms, if you're overweight, that is one contributor. But like I said, you can be small and have it. So just pay attention to your body. Your body tells you a lot of stuff. Yeah, and what's called can tell you that too. As an MMA fighter and ex-football player, our body tells us a lot of stuff. Us a lot of stuff.
Well, absolutely.
If you listen to it.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. And Otis, I have to ask you, man. Speaking of your body and listening to your body, I mean, you had a very storied and very long NFL career. I think over 10+ years here, and you played in an era, back in the early '80s where it was smash mouth. It was old school. It was real two-a-days and all that stuff. It's not what you see now. And you played a position of running back where it was very demanding on your body. I guess what was your testament to lasting so long in the league, playing such a strenuous position like back?
Well, I tried to hit guys like you and don't let guys like you hit me. That was one way to do it. And just, just being smart. Just being smart. Just really just taking care of your body. Just not trying to do too much with your body. Just, again, you just got to be in tune with what your body do. Like, you're in tune with your body.
Yeah.
But for those who are not, just understand one thing. If you listen to your body tells you a lot about what's going on with you. And you just got to pay attention to signs.
Ottis Anderson with us here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Hey, how do you view the game today? Do you love watching the running backs still today, from Derrick Henry to Ezekiel Elliott? What are you a fan of the game? Has the game changed a lot? How do you watch the NFL these days?
I watch it and I kind of laugh at it because it's not the game that we grew up playing, and for many reasons, it's not the game we grew up playing, and you got to respect that part of it. I try to see what players could have played in my era with me, that was good. I look at Derrick Henry. He's an old school guy. He could have played in my era, for no doubt about it. Ezekiel wasn't bad. He's not a bad guy to play in my era as well. That's some good backs in the league. I can't take that away. Adrian Peterson probably one of the all-time best that would have played in my league as well. But the game has just changed so much, and we have to understand why it changed so much. If you look at the issues that players who have played long, guys who played in the 50s and 60s dealing with concussion issue and dementia, I think it make the game safer for these young ball players, and it makes a lot of sense to do that. But I think the money makes it so different because the commitment, I see the commitment is not the same. We play for the love of the game and for our teammates' money. And that's it's just the will to win. Don't seem like it's always there. So that's what I see.
Austin, you got anything else for Ottis before we let him go?
Well, listen, Ottis, I have to talk about, you're a two-time Super Bowl champion. And obviously that's something I never got to experience in my career. It's something that a lot of kids growing up, they dream of hoisting up that trophy, and celebrating with their teammates. I guess were both of them special to you? Was the first one better? Was the second one better? And just kind of talk about those experiences a little bit.
Well, the first one I got traded from the Cardinals to the Giants in mid-season. I went from 1-5 to 5-1, and then we won the Super Bowl, and I was able to score. But I had a part-time role in that. The second one had a lot to do with it. So me having a lot to do with the second one, they all mean the same, but, I had a lot to do with the second one more than I did the first one. And, the second one gave me MVP, but they're all important because it's so hard to get there, and it takes a lot to get there. And that's what you find out in this game is you don't think you're going to go right back. It took us 5 years to go back and forth with it. So that's how hard it is. And you got to give Buffalo a lot of credit for going, what is it, four times in a row they win, I think?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they probably don't like you very much in Buffalo, do they? I mean, you're a Super Bowl MVP, one of their 4 losses.
Well, you know what? I told Jim Kelly, who's from Miami, he and I was Miami graduate together, and I told Kelly, I said, you can't be mad at me. You had 3 other chances. Now, come on.
well, Ottis, and then, obviously, you have the Super Bowl championships, but also I want to ask you, the NFL Comeback Player of the Year. Where does that rank in your accomplishments with what you've been able to do? Because, obviously, you're sharing the list of some great players, and I think in terms of respect around the league amongst your peers, that award can even mean more than anything.
Well, it did because I was so much older. I did that when I was 32 maybe, something like that, and 1,000 yards. And, yeah, I was so much older and the body was rejuvenated, and I was able to come through with it. But that is the Comeback Player of the Year. In my 30s, I think I'm the oldest running back to ever won MVP in a Super Bowl.
Ottis Anderson with us, ambassador for Novo Nordisk. As we let you go here, as phone's breaking up a little bit, but I do want to ask you this: How cool is it for you to not only do what you wanted to do and live your dream and play in the NFL and have all the success you did, but now to be able to use the platform for events like this weekend, for awareness for diabetes, and be able to still stay kind of connected to the game because of the success you had in it?
Well, I'm just glad that Novo Nordisk is making such a big push to help bring awareness to what diabetes can do and what it's doing, and for me to be an ambassador to speak to all my fans and friends and just to bring them this knowledge that I know is just so important at this day and age for them to, start looking at how you eat, your diet and exercise a little more. Those things become a big deal for them at this point in their life, and they should pay attention to it and come and listen to my story. So I have a good story to tell tomorrow about how I got diagnosed, when I got diagnosed, the denial part of it, when like everybody else, I'm like, I don't have it. I mean, the guy said pre-diabetes or pre-diabetic, pre, that word pre. I mean, you don't have it if you say something pre. But no, if he said pre, you mean you have it. So that's just a good story I have to share about how I went through it and some of the things I had to try to do to better myself. One, I lost a lot of weight, and watch what I did. I started doing push-aways from the table. But that's all in my story. So it'd be good when the people come in tomorrow to see what I'm talking about. They're going to enjoy the story.
All right, Ottis Anderson, we appreciate you jumping on. We enjoyed visiting with you about your battle and your platform there with diabetes, but also your NFL playing days. Good luck tomorrow. Have fun with it. Hope a lot of people get to see it, and hopefully we can get you on again sometime soon.
I appreciate you guys. You guys are doing a great job bringing the word out to people. That's why you guys are the key guys on ESPN that make it work, man. And good luck and keep up the good work. And I tell everybody else, man, just try to do push-aways. They don't hurt, right? Right? Big guy push-aways, right?
Without a doubt, man.
I love it.
We
Thanks,
appreciate
Ottis.
it, man.
Appreciate you. That's Ottis Anderson. You can register, by the way, for tomorrow's event, manup2020.eventbrite.com, manup2020.eventbrite.com. Also, Jacksonville Men's Health Coalition on Facebook. If you want to follow along, you can hear more of Ottis' story and see the event. They'll be streaming live, of course. So plenty of ways to get involved with Man Up 2020. And, hey, we know we have a lot of male listeners and viewers. Do what you're supposed to do. Take care of yourself.
You bet.
We're going to take care of some picks when we come back. By the way, do you know Ottis Anderson is the MVP of that game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl 25, I think it was, that 20-19 win. Well, that was the Whitney Houston National Anthem game.
Oh.
Okay? But I didn't know this until I tried to do a little more research on Ottis in that game, that the halftime show was interrupted. I think it was New Kids on the Block. And it wasn't aired on ABC live because Peter Jennings and ABC cut into the broadcast for an update on the war.
Wow.
And so they ran it on tape delay after the Super Bowl. I did not know that. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of external things going on, along with Ottis Anderson and the Giants winning the Super Bowl that year.
I mean, it was New Kids on the Block, too, though. I mean,
I
you
knew that.
could cut them for anything.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Brent. What are we
Can
talking
you
about here?
imagine the Weekend getting bumped?
Well, Brent, that would never happen. They're not. The Weekend is not New Kids on the Block. Simple as that.
Man, New Kids on the Block was big back then.
I'm sure you're rocking out to it. That
was
and
big.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. I'd see you, Brent. I know how you get down.
We'll be back with our picks next on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.